The Wednesday Night Info Show.
The Squier Mini Jazzmaster. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the Mini Jazzmaster for a minute or 10. First off, you can find these things just about anywhere online. Just about every major retailer has them, whether they sell guitars or not, or at least whether you think of them selling guitars or not. And so you can find them used. You can find them in mint condition for about $130. You can find them new for as much as I've seen $280. Most of the time, you can pick them up direct for about $190 shipped to your door. Now, that's important to know, the shipped to your door part, because the two most important words are not mini or Jazzmaster, they are once and after, because everything about this guitar is once and after. For example, once you spend some time finishing the build that should have happened before it got to your door, before it went into the box, after you spend a few days adjusting your expectations of what this thing will be, it's a tremendously fun guitar to play. Once you spend some time finishing the work that should have been done at the factory, or at least should have been done at the store, it's an enjoyable guitar. Once you take the strings off and tighten just about everything on it that can be loose, like your tuning pegs, it becomes a good guitar. Once you put graphite in the nut so that the strings will actually slide through and maintain a consistent tension on either side, it becomes a good guitar. Once you fix the fret sprout that threatens to tear flesh from your fingers, I described it when I first got it out of the box as like playing with barbed wire. Once you do that, once you literally sand down these edges, because if I spent time filing it, I would still be doing that. Now the neck is smooth as butter, and it really, your hand really glides across it. Once you replace the strap nubbins that came on this with actual strap buttons, then it actually becomes a guitar you can stand up and play, as opposed to one that you have to sit down, lest you simply greet your guitar with a strap on its way to the floor. Soul-crushing repeat of what happened to T-Bass Player in That Thing You Do when they won the trophy. It just lets go and drops it. Once you do all that, you have the potential for a good guitar. Now for the after. After you accept the fact that the only thing remotely Jazzmaster about this thing is the shape of the body and its general overall look, you recognize it's more of an alternate universe shrunk down EVH Wolfgang. After you accept that, you'll start to like it. After you accept the fact that it has no tremolo, it's a hard tail, not even a string through body. So you can forget all about those Jazzmaster wobbles with the wiggle stick. After you accept that, it becomes a better guitar. After you accept the fact that it doesn't come with P90s or Jazzmaster pickups, but rather simply humbucking pickups, and you don't necessarily expect that Jazzmaster tone from the big single coils, after you accept that, it becomes a good guitar. After you accept the fact that it doesn't have a distinctive rhythm circuit that makes the Jazzmaster a Jazzmaster, after you accept that and you get over that, it becomes a really good guitar. Most importantly, so once you finish building it and after you accept what it is, it's a tremendous amount of fun. Now, this little thing is incredibly easy to play. Chords come easy, progressions flow from one to the next without much interruption, and if you're using a looper, the humbucking pickups offer enough thickness for a really clean chime, and you can go back and get a little bit dirty over it if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into multiple tones and stomp boxes, this thing approaches the Ibanez Micro and Dinky Minion range of a variety of tones. It doesn't quite get there if you're a shredder because it only has 20 frets instead of 24, and it has a 9.5 inch radius, which means the neck is a little more rounded. A little easier for chord progressions, a little more difficult for runs. It's like the Fender neck that it's modeled after. In fact, if you want to know what this is like to play, basically detune a Fender Stratocaster or Strat copy with a similar neck, slap a capo on your 3rd fret, and you've basically got an idea of what this thing feels like. After I adjusted my attitude about the humbucking pickups and I stopped looking for that single coil sound, the single tone knob and single volume knob made the controls just easier to adjust. If you're one of those people that turns everything to 10 all the time anyway, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I've gotten used to the position of the output jack. It no longer really bothers me. And mercifully, the switch, it's horizontal and related to the pickups. If you want your front pickup, you point to your front pickup. If you want the back pickup, you point it to the back pickup. It's also out of the position for the way that I play, so I'm not knocking it around like I am with other dual humbucking guitars who put the switch in really weird places, at least for me. Now, I don't have to tune this thing every 3 minutes anymore. I did the work on the headstock, the string change, and the fact that it doesn't have a tremolo make it stay in tune so you can really abuse this thing and it stays in tune relatively well. But the reason that this fantastic guitar is such a disappointment is because it fits into the stereotype of minis. When you first get it, it's rough. It's difficult to play. It doesn't stay in tune. The strap won't hang on to it, and it actually physically hurts your hands. It's one of those guitars that when you give it to somebody, if you don't know how to set it up first, or if you don't have somebody run over it first, they're going to be in the 90% of people that quit playing guitar in the first year. It has design flaws and build flaws that you're going to have to overcome. And it's why I wouldn't mail one of these or give one of these as a gift without having a chance to go over it first. I would have it shipped to my house and then spend time fixing it because I know what I'm going to see when I open it up. Then I would put it back in the packaging and gift it out. Otherwise, you're going to give somebody a guitar that's going to make them quit. Out of the box, this guitar kills dreams. So you have to change your vision and you have to equip this for the mission of what you want it to become. Now, underneath this pickguard is a swimming pool mount. It's open for about this wide all the way back to the bridge. Now, what that means with that wide cavity is that it's really great to mod. Not only can you swap out the humbuckers with a slight adjustment to these corners to get some covered humbuckers or squared off humbuckers in here, but you can put in Filtertrons, you can put in P90 sized humbuckers. That really gives you a lot of options. You can even use an adapter to put in mini humbuckers or single coils, but if you're going to go that route, I would suggest going with a mini Strat. Now, the other thing you can do if you're really into modifying the pickguard, because I've done this before, and it's a lot more complicated than it starts out to be, you can mount P90s right to the body and then cut your pickguard around it. So you can get Jazzmaster pickups or P90 pickups in this thing if that's really what you want. I would suggest going with an alternate for that, something like the CNZ Audio Mini JM. Not a Jazzmaster. But if that's what you're looking for and you have to have the Fender neck, go that way. You can put standard locking tuners on this, standard string trees, aftermarket bone nuts. You can refret it. You can do whatever you want to. All can be swapped out just like on any other guitar. And once you get the guitar and after you make those decisions, you can make it what you want it to be. Once and after, it can be a really good beginner's guitar. Once and after, it can be a really good gigging guitar. Once and after, it can be a decent travel guitar. Other reviewers talk about its quality out of the box, and I agree. Most of the people that like it have either gone through the work that I've gone through, or they've had someone set it up, or they've purchased it from a shop or a person that took the time to finish the build. And I'm really putting this out there because I really think it's important that we get good guitars in the hands of people who want to learn to play. I if you don't know what you're doing, this can be incredibly frustrating. I was irritated, and it's almost like they mailed me a do-it-yourself, assemble yourself kit that you had to take apart and reassemble yourself. Matter of fact, if they had marketed it that way, it would have been easier to accept. It's like someone coming to your house and raking all your leaves up in piles and leaving them on your lawn thinking they're being helpful, and you just leave them there until the grass is dead underneath it. It kind of helps, but really what they've given you is a chore. In exchange for your money, they give you a to-do list. I'm keeping a joke to myself about that. But the good news about that is you only have to do it once. And then it is what it is and what you set it up to be. It is a good guitar, a really good, versatile, all-around guitar that to my eye looks good, plays well, and sounds great. And what more do you want from a guitar? Wait till you see what it can do on center stage. It's like butter on a bald monkey. It
Brought to you by the good folks of the Miniguitar Society. Hey!